Welcome back to Taiwan Outlook. The topic we talk about today is Taiwan and the WHO. And joining us today is President Wu of the Foundation for Medical Professions Alliance in Taiwan. Dr. Wu, we've been talking about international support and China's efforts to block Taiwan's entry into the WHO. Are you satisfied with the government's strategy so far, Taiwan's government's strategy so far to join the WHO?
Actually, from 10 years ago, when we started our drive, actually we're proposing to the government use Taiwan's name and apply for the member. But government's the point of view is try to avoid the sovereignty confrontation. They choose observership instead of membership. So I think that as a private sector, I think we understand that. But for the 10 years, I think we're doing this repeatedly. I think that we failed to achieve our goal. But this is not a total failure. Actually, from 1997, Taiwanese people are not even know that whether we belong to World Health Organization or not. From non-issue become the issue and become well-publicized issues. Now I think that early last year we have a poll showing that more than 80% of Taiwanese people want the government to use the name of Taiwan to apply for membership. And that sort of come to give us a little bit surprise because for the last 10 years, we've been always applying for the observer instead of a member. Yet Taiwanese people that are showing this kind of desire. And that really show that they fed up with repeatedly suffering from disease and then yet being ignored. So I think this is sort of to the point of a boiling point for these Taiwanese people. So I really think that the government should really take the note. I really think that the Taiwanese people are intolerable to this kind of situation.
So are you saying that there's a growing awareness in the Taiwanese society about Taiwan's WHO bid, and they are hoping to change the name of our application from the so-called Republic of China, parenthesis Taiwan, to Taiwan?
Well, actually, as you know, that the political situation in Taiwan is, of course, divided. We all know that. But this is WHO issue. Is the only issue is not divided. And I really think that Taiwanese people we are aware of it, and even in the legislators, in our parliament, they all have a consensus. So I really think this is sort of people's will. I really think that the government should take the note for that.
Another note to it is that the government used the so-called health entity as the membership or observership application. What does it mean by health entity?
Well, we feel very strongly from day one when we apply for this, pushing for these WHO issues, and we only have one objective. We want to be using the Taiwan's name and then as a member. There is no second thought about that. So, but of course, we also have to face, international political realities, and then sometimes we have to compromise. And but I really think that with this kind of humble request and still not gaining this international community's acceptance, I really think this is totally immoral, and I really think that strongly recommend that the government should approach it, directly apply for membership.
But by applying for a full member, some people would be afraid that maybe countries like Japan and the U.S. will drop their support now for Taiwan's observer status. Do you have these kind of concerns?
Obviously, when we're going to those country to country. And we also brought up the issues, and I told them Taiwan is a democratic country. The government has to do what people's wills. So I really think that people's power is the issue here. So I really think that what we're going to, those countries are all democratic countries. They really should take the note for that. And of course, we also know that there's a political issue mingle in these issues. So this is very difficult. But I think that if we can gradually turning the policy or doing more explanation to our those countries who are supporting Taiwan, I really think that they should be able to accept our idea.
But in addition to the international support, domestic support is also very important. But as you said earlier, that Taiwan is somewhat politically divided, ideologically divided. But health issue seems to be a non-partisan issue, across all partisan lines. Have you ever tried to reach out to different ideological camps to garner and to get their support for Taiwan's WHO bid?
Actually, of course, in Taiwan inside, I think through that 10 years education, we already have a consensus. There's no question about that. Yeah. So that actually, World Medical Association has been very, very supportive and it's very helpful. And then voicing that their support in WHO. They did directly send a letter to Director General asking for Taiwan's participation because they realize as a professional, they realize the issues. So I think that every time we go out to individual country, we always like to meet with the news media and let them aware of Taiwan's situation. And we also meet with their member of parliament, and also that think tank. So with those that we met, I think that we hope that they can realize that how important Taiwan's participation for those international issues.
But what can Taiwan do domestically to show to the world that Taiwan is very, very hopeful that we can join the WHO? Some people argue, for instance, we should have a referendum on Taiwan's WHO bid to show to the world that we are hoping to become part of WHO. Is that a good approach?
I think that we really have to solve the problem with that referendum, I believe, because of so far, of course, Taiwan's international status, just like orphan. With the referendum, I think that we can, with the new constitution, with rectifying Taiwan's name, I think this is all a very important step to join the international communities.
But how about the legislature passing any resolution or passing any statement to demonstrate Taiwan's support?
Actually, they do have a resolution.
That's non-partisan, close parties.
That's right.
Okay. And how about NGO groups? Are there any activities taken by the NGO groups in Taiwan to broaden our support everywhere?
Actually, the UNO, United Nations 联合国协进会,
supporting Taiwan's bid to the UN.
They also are very actively, seeking support for WHO's participation. And of course, our Taiwanese Medical Association for the last 4 or 5 years has been very, very actively participating, our team. So actually, for medical professional, I think this is very actively participating.
Yeah. How about your foundation, Foundation for Medical Professions Alliance in Taiwan? What have you been doing in recent years?
We've been, every year we went to our neighboring countries, Japan, Korea, and then through Huapa, I think that they're seeking that the U.S. support. And we're also going to Europe, seeking their support. So actually, I just returned from Europe about a week or two ago, and tried to seek those European Union support.
But again, are you seeing more support from those countries, including EU countries?
Well, there's kind of subtle changes through the years. Actually, about 4 years ago, first that we went to Europe when we asking to meet with government official. It was very, very sensitive issues. They're sort of afraid to kind of meet with us.
Okay.
Or even we meet with us, they're very blunt. But through the years, we can see now at least that they are willing to meet with us and are willing to listen to us. I think this is change. I think that they know that they have to listen to us, listen to what we say, what the problem is, because they realize this is a serious issues. So I really think that there's subtle changes through the years.
Yeah. But as you said earlier, that the EU's position so far is the so-called meaningful participation of Taiwan in the WHO. What are you hoping to change in that regard?
Well, we just have to prove to them meaningful participation is not working, and then we can convince them to use another approach. So I think that's what we're really trying to do. And we already was there 2 weeks ago, and then try to persuade them. I think the number game is never going to work. So I hope that they can understand the situation so that they can approach the whole situation differently.
But did you get any positive response from you're talking with those people?
Well, I told them very clearly. I think that we've been doing this for the last 10 years. So if that take another 5 years, we are willing to continue to come back to talk to them. And we also know that this year they already set their tone for meaningful participations. But we still come to you. The reason is because we want to tell them meaningful participation is not working. And that's the reason we keep coming back. And then since that we have a very good reason to be, that's the reason we are not frustrated. We'll keep coming back.
Yeah, but some people say that it's a mission impossible for Taiwan to be a member of the WHO. Do you agree with that kind of statement?
I don't think so. Of course, Taiwan has to solve the problem ourselves. I really think that the whole issue really maybe is within Taiwan instead of outside of Taiwan. As long as we can have a new constitution, we have referendums, and then I think that we can solve lots of problems within Taiwan. And once Taiwan is united, and then WHO no longer is an issue.
But do you see any possibility for this kind of united Taiwan to show our will to join the WHO?
I really think that we hope that the leadership will lead Taiwan towards that goal. And I think that they really should set that goal and then lead Taiwanese people to that directions. And once that we clearly see that our goal, and I really think that the Taiwanese people will follow that rule. So that's very, very important for the government to take the lead. And as a private sectors, we only can, provide our opinions, but still policy making still is in the hand of the government. So we really feel that it's very important for the government to take the lead.
But apparently Taiwan cannot be a member of the WHO in the short term. Are you concerned about possible, similar avian flu or things happening to Taiwan, and Taiwan could suffer a lot?
That's the reason we keep pleading to international community, ask them to let Taiwan be part of it, because of As you know, Taiwan, although so far has no avian flu, but even Japan, with highly, very good hygiene and good, health policy, and they also contracted with the avian flu. So I really think there's no guarantee that it's not going to happen in Taiwan. Especially there's a lot of smuggling, birds or dogs, between Taiwan and China. So if there's any mishandle the situation, and then the outbreak in Taiwan, it's become a serious problems. But one thing I think that we really have to bring out is actually it's a warning sign for China's human avian flu.
That's right.
Who recovered. That really means that the virus is learning how to live with a human being. And once they learn how to live with a human being, that's a time where we have human-to-human spread, transmissions. So this is why that I keep warning that the European friends that they really ought to look at this seriously.
Yes.
And so we really feel that virus is smarter than human beings, so that we really ought to fight them together instead of being divided.
Yeah, Dr. Wu, thank you for coming to our program, and thank you for your efforts in pushing for Taiwan's WHO bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The WHO chapter stipulates that it's a health for all. We are hoping that that can become a genuine statement on the part of the WHO. Thank you for watching Taiwan Outlook, and see you next week.